Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Blokes podcast, presented by Forged Irish Stout.
Forged Irish Stout is the world's creamiest stout set to conquer the world. Forged in Dublin, Ireland by Conor McGregor.
Speaking of forged, we got a couple fellas here today with us.
Couple blokes.
Now we got quad blokes today. It's not
Yeah.
Ghost blokes today.
Yeah,
Quad blokes.
Quad blokes.
Feel free to introduce yourselves, and we'll hop right in.
I am Trevor Karen. I am head of marketing for Forged Irish Stout, based out of Philadelphia.
Yeah. Jason Ingram, director of U.S. sales. Actually live in Northwest Florida. You can tell no Irish accents on either one of us.
None. Zero.
So the authenticity already is off to a bad start.
Forged in Florida.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the U.S. blokes.
Florida man forged.
We love that. We love it. Well, we're happy to have you guys here, and you guys have been an incredible sponsor for us, and obviously we love your product. We've consumed all of it. There's none left in the studio. There's 3 cans left in the studio.
Yeah, 3 cans left.
We've consumed every ounce of Forged here. Thanks for being here, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Our
for having
pleasure.
us.
Our pleasure.
Let's hop right in as Jeff breaks the.
Oh yeah, here we go.
He breaks the set. We've been on this
Charlie,
for 1 minute.
Welcome back. I broke it.
Early.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to we're keeping him employed by breaking all of his podcast equipment.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys go ahead and we'll start with Trevor. Talk about how you got involved with Forged and you know what this looks like for Forged in the future.
For sure. So I grew up in the hospitality industry as well as food and beverage and entertainment. Ran my own marketing agency and co-founded one out in New York. About a year and a half ago, my wife works in beer distribution out of Pennsylvania. She made the note of Conor McGregor's potentially starting a beer brand here in the U.S. I grew up wrestling my whole life, a UFC fan. So in my mind, I'm like, listen, we have an agency that serves food and beverage clients.
Yeah.
Put me in touch. We'll figure it out. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I ended up meeting, a month and a half or so later, very organically. She's like, listen, the Dublin team's going to be in New York. We're all going to be there. Come meet everybody. Just say what's up. So I had an opportunity, did not know Conor was going to be there. Small pub in New York called Bartley Dunn's, like 60 cap place.
Love
Super
it.
private for just distributors and everyone else. So I come solo. My business partner at the time was in overseas. Ended up just hitting it off with the co-founders of the brand, Doug and Steven, who are
Great guys.
Great guys.
Yeah.
Great guys. So I said, hey, if you guys are ever looking for something, we do experiential and digital marketing here in the U.S. We work a lot of F&B brands and would love to support. Long story short, like a week later, we got on a Zoom. A week after that, flew to Dublin, had the
Hell yeah.
beautiful opportunity. And by the way, that first night I had a chance to meet Jason.
Yeah,
Was already on
first time we
board.
met, yeah.
First time we met. So it was very organic, but got a chance to spend 4 days in Dublin, really learn about the brand, present our understanding of the market here in the U.S., and see the brewery. And we launched shortly after that in October of last year. And we'll go into it, but now in 8+ markets, including here in Boston,
Love it.
which we're super proud of, and couldn't be more exciting. Conor's one of a kind. The brand's one of a kind.
For sure.
For sure. Yes.
And just grateful to be here with you guys and talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and myself, I'm actually from Atlanta. I only choose to live in Florida now, so I don't really claim
You
that.
just love hurricane.
You don't get to claim Florida man if you're from Atlanta.
That's right. That's right. I can't claim Florida man, nor would I necessarily want to. But I do love living. I do love living on the coast, right? I do love living on water. But I've been in the beer business a little over about 25 years now. Started in Atlanta in the distribution side, but then primarily over the last. Prior to joining Forge, the last 15 years, I was working for a brewery out of Colorado called Left Hand Brewing Company, one of the kind of the OG in the craft world. Their best-selling beer was a stout. So the conversations between Forged and Left Hand had started long before the beer was going to be a reality in the United States. And so I took part in a lot of those discussions. There was talks about whether or not Left Hand could be a local domestic producer for Forged on Forge's behalf. And so one kind of thing led to another, and the guys at Forge really saw that I saw the opportunity. My background before getting in the beer business, I used to work in the Atlanta Braves in the front office, did a little bit of sports talk radio. So I had this kind of combination of sports, and beer. Those are my two backgrounds. So with Conor coming along, I was very familiar with what he'd done with Proper 12. And that meteoric rise, right? Like he looked at Jameson and looked at Bushmills and Tully and all that stuff and saw an opportunity to go attack them. Because no one
just went right to the top.
Right. So exactly. Yeah. So when they kind of approached my former company about potentially partnership, I saw the opportunity right away because I was like, because we've been fighting Guinness for a long time, someone that has 95% of the stout market.
Right.
So it was like, all right, this is what Conor does, from nothing, from something to everything. He likes the big challenge. And so I was like all in at that point. So I ended up leaving Left Hand on good terms and stuff, but coming over to Forged in July of last year to be the director of U.S. sales. And it's been an awesome ride so far.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love that.
It's been sick. I have a question. So what does that initial rollout in the country look like? Where do you start to where you are now, but also where are you going from here? If you can even talk about that. I don't even know.
Sure. I'll hop on that one first. So the initial plan was because of Irish populations and Irish-centric spots where stout does well, the Northeast was the natural positioning. So a lot of the relationships that Forged had prior already knew some folks in New York and so forth. So we really kicked off with New York, Philly, and New Jersey, and then subsequently right after that, Boston, to kind of capitalize. So everyone's initial reaction is certainly you're going to go into the Irish accounts. That's going to be a heavy driver for you. You already have your built-in stout drinkers. But where we're seeing the brand go now is pretty much, I like to say it can be sold anywhere. It can be sold in your smaller craft esoteric spots, or it can be sports bars. Guinness kind of doesn't really put a lot of emphasis behind their sports bars. They kind of get that nitro handle just by default. But with our association with Conor and UFC, we're starting to see the younger drinker, the 21 to 35 demographic, really kind of attached to our brand based on the popularity of UFC. So where we're going now, which I'm sure we'll elaborate further, but there's a lot of, and let's be honest, not to get too political, but Conor is polarizing. He's actually popular in a lot of red state areas. Texas, Florida are some of our future markets because of his popularity, and the brand is being pulled that direction from chains and so forth. So,
oh, it's well said.
Yeah. So here,
that's great that I went on a 10-minute answer and Trevor just said, well said.
Yeah, well said. Yeah.
Good analysis, Trevor. I like it. I like it. Thank God I thought I was talking too much.
He's like, yeah, no, that's it. You did it. Thank you. And he's like, moving on. I know growing up, you see people drink, Guinness or whatnot, and you've always thought of it, when you look at it, you're like, this beer is going to be heavy, right? Correct. And it's like forever people are Bud Light drinkers, and you see this dark beer, and you're like, yeah, I'm staying away from that. It's going to be like a milkshake.
Correct.
It's not, right?
Right.
So that whole perception of, oh, heavy beer, this beer, first of all, delicious. But
first of all, open it. Cracking these open?
I think we're going to crack some of these. I think we have cups somewhere.
Yeah.
Unless we're going to just lip to lip this thing.
Me and you can share it.
Yeah, absolutely free. It's a light beer. It feels like a light beer. It drinks like a light beer. It's just flavorful, right?
Correct. I mean, the roasted malts is always going to, creates that dark color, and it just is intimidating for a lot of people. And, give Guinness credit. I mean, they've been around for 250, 60 years, and they are actually the original light beer. We're talking 125 calories per 12-ounce serving, 4.2% ABV, less ABV than a Bud Light or a Miller Lite. And so it actually is the whole idea is to be able to have pints with your friends and sit down at a pub and have several and still be able to. In fact, Stephen, the guy we were referencing earlier, sent me, I'll have to pull it up, but he sent me back in the 60s in Ireland, everyone was up in arms because they were trying to impose a 12-pint limit or 12-pint maximum to still be able to drive home. And people, 12 pint. He sent that to me today, and I was just like, so the beer was always a light beer, lower ABV. Now I'm not advocating kids at home.
We don't have any kids that watch the show. Don't worry. They're
the
all
adult kids and all of us. But no, seriously,
they're all degenerates.
Exactly.
We are a phone-friendly podcast, by the way. So if you have notes or you want to pull anything out, feel free to let it rip.
I'm pulling.
No,
it.
that's
we leave our phones
to
up.
hit on that point, we claim it to be a craft beer for the masses, and that's what we believe. You have some amazing.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Amazing craft breweries that have artisanal stouts, higher ABV, but you can't.
It's ridiculous.
That's what's up.
Sorry, Trevor.
No.
Violent clashes in Dublin as 12-pint driving limit put in place. And
They spelled crashes wrong.
and one of the responses is like, "What are we supposed to do? Walk?"
I think so. I believe so. That's wild that was a thing.
Right.
But back to what you were saying.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's just one of those things where it is an educational curve because it's deceivingly, it is dark and it's deceiving.
Right.
People think it's heavy, but the adoption we're seeing from new drinkers into the market and from OG stout drinkers is, hey, holy shit, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
This is, I can drink this over and over, and that's that's thanks to the product development that's happened and the ability to actually create something that's on the product itself stands alone, let alone the authenticity of the story with Conor, let alone the marketing machine that's behind Conor and the brand.
So the proper 12 to forge stuff, right? Okay. So when people buy proper 12 now, do you think they still think of Conor McGregor? Or do you think that they just enjoy that product as opposed to the person that has created or endorsed it? And where does that go with Forged?
Yeah, it's a great question because I obviously I think first and foremost, Proper 12 was a partnership with Proximo, Jose Cuervo's parent company, right? So, and the difference being with Forged, it's 100% owned by Conor. It's completely his baby. We're a little bit more of a smaller team trying to get there because he doesn't want to take any outside money on it. So get back to your point though, Proper did a great job of maximizing the leverage with him. And I think everyone still has a very strong association with Proper 12 and the brand. That's something we are actually trying to do more of, leaning more into Conor, and so that people understand, like, the packaging is super slick, beautiful. Everyone responds well. It's very classic. Very little reference to Conor, only the small little signature on the back. Right. And so, part of that is to try to associate, before, because we wanted the beer to be able to stand on its own and people to love it for what it is. But at the same time, looking at what Proper's been able to do, to your point. So yes, I'm sure there's a lot of people now that are hooked on Proper, that's just their favorite Irish whiskey, and that regardless of Conor, but no doubt that's what launched it. We're talking in a 4-year period, getting up to the market share that he got and the sellout that he was able to do. That's incredible in that time. It's almost unprecedented. It's like you have their handful of celebrity-backed products out there. There's such a gluttony of them now. But you go back to Sammy Hagar was like kind of the first one with Cabo Wabo tequila. But then of course everyone knows Casamigos and all those stories, and the Rock, Terramana, and everyone's got Dos Hombres, all that. But the difference here is it's 100% his brand. It's 100%. It's his baby. He posts about it all the time. I mean, it's a very big difference of just not. We like to say we're not a celebrity-backed brand. We're a brewery that happens to be owned by a celebrity.
I like that.
Great point.
So when opening this, sometimes I'm a disaster.
Yeah.
Well, because we're
so explain what's in the nitro. It's a nitro can.
Yeah. So first of all, the beer is nitrogen. So people that are familiar with Guinness out there that have not yet been able to try Forged. Basically, in the beer like that, you're stripping out CO2, which is your normal beer, the bubbly effervescence, and injecting it with nitrogen in its place. And it just creates a softer, creamier mouthfeel. And that's part of why some people may think it's heavy, because it's just more of this creaminess sensation, right? So it's always been very tough to replicate that at home. You have your nitro draft pour. Everyone's seen the kind of the 2-part pour that Guinness does. Our brand does as well. It's a total show and a presentation. Well, it was always very difficult to replicate that at home. So probably 30 years ago, Guinness came up with widget technology. If you've ever held a can of Guinness in your hand, it's almost like a spray paint ball in there that you kind of feel bouncing around. That's technology they patented and they've used. It's a way to keep nitrogen contained, because nitrogen is a gas that's very difficult to get into solution. It's also very difficult to break out of solution. So they needed to contain it to be able to, once they pop it and then pour it in glass, to have that nice, beautiful cascade. Like I said, they came up with that technology, but it's been around for 30 some odd years. Recently, there's been others that have created newer technologies, what we're using. So I have no problem saying that vastly superior in pouring Forged right next to Guinness, that we do a much better job of replicating what that draft experience is at home. The widget is actually fixated to the bottom of the can, and it does a much better job of holding the nitrogen in place. So when you pop that top, it's starting the cascade up into the. So you typically want to pour it pretty much right away into a glass and watch that happen.
You crack it all the way open first?
I do crack it all the way open. Now, the one thing that I would not recommend doing it, unfortunately, right now, because they're not cold enough.
Yeah.
So cold plays a big factor in it. When a beer is warm, typically you're not going to crack open a beer when it's warm anyway.
Still do.
But exactly.
Just like speak for yourself, buddy.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Like 9 in the morning. You're not the one that's been on the one
Right,
that's been
right
on the
before I go to bed at 9 in the morning.
the one that's been on the floorboard of the car for it's like it's kind of got left back there. But no, but with the nitrogen, it's very sensitive to temperature. So you need to have it cold. You want to pop the top and then immediately pour into a glass and watch the beautiful cascade. You can drink straight from the can. It's just you're losing out on some of that presentation.
Got it.
We've gone through every iteration of drinking this beer on the show. We've cracked it and just let it just spray everywhere. We've ruined this desk. We've poured it perfectly into glasses.
We poured so many perfect pours.
We've had some perfect pours, but then there's other times where we're like, it's time to just get after it. Let it rip. And honestly, delicious every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
The mess that Jeff has created in here. He's dropped the cans. This guy has just gone through the gambit of how to. First of all, you should take him with you, and he can be the guy that tests durability of cans. Just
smash against my head.
Smash against the head, drops on the ground. He's like the
Jeff test.
Yeah. The Jeff London forged.
I'll have my autograph right next to Connor's at the bottom.
No, it's just going to be a dent.
A dent. That's right.
Jeff. All the cans will now come with a Jeff dent.
Yes.
Oh,
that's
so
hilarious.
good.
Yeah, it's nuts. And again, you guys have been wonderful to work with, and we love the product. It's fun. And on St. Patrick's Day this year, I consumed way more than 12.
Yes.
And I wasn't driving, thankfully. I was walking.
Were you able to walk?
Not really.
All right.
A lot of proper, a lot of forward. I was, let's just say I think I had Conor McGregor's accent at the end of it. It was pretty interesting. And we were at the Clock in Southie, which is another place that you guys have your products. And I love that place. That place is just electric factory. There's deer heads, and it's from like 1918, and they haven't changed a single thing in there except maybe one speaker.
Yeah, they put a new ceiling on.
And they put a new ceiling, and then they're like, "We should probably revamp this HVAC system." I'm like, "Where is it from?" They're like, "Literally the opening of 1918." I'm like, "They had HVAC back then? This is nuts."
World's first HVAC.
World's first HVAC. But yeah, I mean, you guys had a pretty. There was a lot of presence in Southie, in South Boston this year, which obviously when you're looking for something, you obviously find it, right? I was walking around, I wasn't looking for it, I was just drinking beers. I was like, oh shit, there's another one. Oh shit, there's a t-shirt.
Floorboard beers.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there laying on the ground, and I'm like, are those forged sneakers? No.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah.
But the Boston presence for you has been awesome. We went to the launch party, I think.
Yes.
And that was
Black Rose, yes.
That was unreal.
That was a good time.
Unreal. How has Boston itself been for you guys?
So, Boston for us is, we call them, a tier 1 city. So it's a primary focus. We have Philly, New Jersey, New York, and obviously because of the community here, you have a incredible sports community, incredible Irish-centric community.
Absolutely.
And so we're still new and early to the market. So we have the likes of the Croaks in Southie who are just extremely loyal to us. They see when they put us on, the customer adoption at a place like that is, coming in for a stout, staff's behind it.
Yep.
They understand the quality, they understand the story, and we're flying.
Right.
And now we're looking to expand. We just had a great meeting with your counterparts here.
Yes, big night.
We love it.
At Big Night, soft early news that we're likely getting right upstairs into play.
Yeah. Let's go, baby.
We'll be draining that thing.
Which is going to be us four just pulling back.
Maybe get a tap ran downstairs. Like right here on the desk.
Just right above.
You got a nitro pole right now? Oh, yeah, we're in.
Now we're talking.
And so we have a lot of these amazing local bars who we've been able to enter with and support. And now we're here in this city too, getting it, we've done it very well in other cities, is the bars like Play where we can do UFC activations, do things around sports where there's a camaraderie around the community who has an association with Conor naturally.
Right.
And we've seen that really work well. And where you guys are stationed here, it's the hub.
Yeah,
you guys are the sports and entertainment hub.
we got the black and gold right here, and the Bruins are playing tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
we're it's either Bruins or Steelers colors, right? I mean,
we'll call it Bruins.
We'll call it Bruins. I know.
Drop the S word, bro. Over there, buddy. You'll get thrown right out of this place.
Yeah, no, trust me. There's no allegiance on my side to that. But no, to to further Trevor's point, I think we're still only scratching the surface here in this market. Let's be honest. Again, kudos to Guinness. Guinness is this massive corporation owned by Diageo, English owned. We're coming in, feisty, like on the backs of Conor, kind of picking a fight. For us, each new account we get, it's a big deal.
Right.
We don't take any of our business for granted. And so you guys referenced St. Patty's Day last year. I thought we did a really good job with that, even though we'd only been in the market maybe about 6 weeks prior to Patty's Day.
This is fresh off. Huh?
Really activate around that, I think we did collectively. The brand did a nice job. Our distributor Horizon Beverage, want to mention them, they do a great job. But I think coming back into 2025 Patty's Day, we're already starting to put the touches on that.
Right.
And that's going to be double, triple what we were able to do this past time. So that we're excited about that. I mean, we're entering stout season now. So the summer, naturally, that perception, go back to that perception of drinking a heavy beer. Certainly stout sales, I hate to say it, but they do slump off a little bit in the summer just because people are drinking lighter and they're drinking high noons and so forth.
Right.
But I don't know if you guys are sponsored by a different.
Just you,
just you.
Very good.
The one and only.
And hopefully a Buffalo Wing sponsor.
Yeah.
We're gonna be locked in.
Yeah,
here.
we need some wings.
Yeah, no, I like it. But no, so now we're entering. Like once the fall started, we've got hockey started back up again. We got the Celtics back. Like we're starting. You start that first hint of fall in the air. Amazingly, stout sales just start to creep back up. So we're entering our season. So we're looking for like round 2, if you will, in Boston.
Love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Celtics,
Yeah.
first game.
Yeah. Did you guys watch any of the Celtics?
Oh,
No, we were down in New York actually. No, I mean only because we had to be. No New York sports fan here. I'm the one that said I was from Atlanta.
Actually, Giants fan here.
There was a 28-3 reference coming at some point when I said I was from Atlanta.
We don't need to use.
Yeah, I
that,
know.
man.
I was just
Low-hanging
waiting for it. I knew it was going to happen.
fruit. We don't need to do that to you.
Yeah.
Your team did that to themselves.
Oh,
No,
wow.
I know. Yeah.
Ouch.
Run it 3 times to kick a field goal. How many times do we got to say
They're about
it?
to pull the sponsorship check. So
Yes.
No, not at all.
Just give me a can of the first dented can he's throwing off my head.
yeah, literally that.
No, not at all.
So you guys were watching the C's game in New York?
We were out. I mean, it was on. Obviously, I knew it was the opening night. I saw TNT was here.
Yeah, they went off.
Yeah, it was a big night for celebs.
Benson Boone performed. Shabuzi performed.
Oh, really? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There were a lot of people in town. Yeah, Gunner was in town. The rapper Gunner, Kodak Black, Metro Boomers.
Speaking of which, Kodak.
Yeah.
So Connor just started his own record label, Greenpoint Records, and Kodak's on it.
He signed Exhibit, right?
and Exhibit and good old Bone Thugs and Harmony. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's so. Each person, we've done several people over the past few days, whether text or in person. Only in first reactions. Whoa.
Bone Thugs.
It's like
That's
you can
lit.
see it through the text message. Someone's like,
Yeah. I love Bone
I
Thugs.
think we should do
That's nuts.
a
Bone Thugs
Forge Forge times what was it? Is it Green?
Greenback?
Greenback Records. yeah.
Greenback Records. We'll do it upstairs
Do
at
it up-
Midnight
yeah.
Live. Yeah.
We'll just get Bone Thugs.
No,
Yeah.
in all sincerity, I mean that
would
we
be-
could speak that into
Yeah.
existence. I imagine. That's also
I know a couple people.
You know a couple people. That's also the fun and joy of working with Connor. I mean it seriously. Like you never know what he's going to be involved in. I mean, since, like I said, Forge is his baby, but he's involved in so many different businesses and so forth. So starting the record label, he just kicked off a protein popcorn and things like that. I mean, he's now partnered with BKFC, the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, as a
That's
co-owner.
wild.
That stuff is fucking insane.
It's crazy. And working with
Insane.
Bucked Up Energy Drink, which is a sponsor of BKFC. Now they're putting Connor branded energy stuff out there. So, his relevancy just continues to expand despite, having not fought in a few years. I mean, he's still the talk of the town whenever
Yeah.
he's mentioned. So
Yeah, he's like an undeniable human being, right? Like he just everything that he's just so out there and so like passionate about his projects. And
Right.
you just go, okay,
It's infectious.
It's infectious, and it's undeniable.
Right.
Like you get excited about whatever he's doing, even as not a fight fan, right? If you're not into fighting, you're like, if beer is your thing,
Right.
And Conor McGregor is a guy that you've seen off in the distance, being like, oh, he is just a lightning rod for electricity. Like I'll follow him, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He just goes crazy.
Yeah.
Like the BKFC stuff, when he signed to be a part of that, I was like, well, this makes the most sense. This is the
Yeah.
most.
we were just talking about
Right.
that. Like huge win for them and for him, but his relevancy score is
I think
it's at the highest it's ever been and just keeps rising.
Yeah.
And
when he first went on and he just like fired somebody right away?
Yeah, Mike Perry. Who was their champion? He was like
fired the champion.
Well, because he lost to Jake Paul, right? And so Conor hates Jake Paul, right? Like so once he lost to, he's like, you bum, you fired him right on the spot.
Incredible. Just imagine that, just being like, you know what, fuck it, I'm firing my heavyweight champion. He's gone.
After only being part of the company for 2 weeks.
Ballsy move. You're the guy that's making you the money, but if you're the guy now making the company money, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. What else did he there was a fight on stage the other day during a weigh-in.
Oh, yeah.
And they're scrapping and security's going all over the place and there's shit falling down. And all of a sudden he just has the belt in his arms and he raises it. I was just like, where did he come from? Where did he even come
Right in the mix.
I thought he was getting pushed around too, but nope, belt comes out. I'm like, dude, this
I love that.
Just he's a promoter, right? Like, I mean, he's
world class at it.
Well,
One of a kind, honestly. It hasn't been someone that's been able to.
He strikes me as like an old school WWF, Attitude Era wrestler, right?
Well, and the idea that they're now all one company now, UFC and WWE. I mean, I don't know. This is not. I mean, don't take my word for it. I don't know.
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. Yeah, Conor is signed with Triple H, and but no, but there. I think there's been talk. You know, like you could see him doing some crossover stuff for them because I mean, who can in the wrestling world, it's cutting a promo, right? Like who?
He'd be the best.
Who can do that better than him?
That's what I'm saying.
But he might really hit somebody. That might be a little bit different. You know, it's like, all right, like he might actually really,
You got a couple guys in the WWE that will take a punch in the face from Conor for a couple grand.
Yeah, I mean, CM Punk did it when he went into the UFC for one.
He did. Yeah, he legitimately got punched in the face.
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Ken Shamrock. I mean, there's been some crossover guys, but no, I mean, like his personality. You're 100% right. That's Attitude Era.
Yeah, he's the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's too bad we couldn't see him and Vince McMahon like really square off. Before
Dana White still is alive, so you never know, man.
Yeah.
He might just drive a milk truck down or like a beer truck right down to the ring.
A forged Irish Stout. Forged Irish Stout.
Spray that down the ring.
Stout all over the place. It'd be unreal.
Who did that? The brother.
Stone Cold. Well, Stone Cold did the beer truck. And Kurt Angle.
Did the milk truck, which is just the ultimate troll. Comes out with the milk because he's so wholesome. American. Yeah. Oh my God, that was one of the best ever.
Just spraying the ring down. And imagine the smell after that. Like, no, thanks, bro. Have you ever been to a Steve Aoki show? It smells like a dairy factory afterwards. You're like, my gosh, this is the worst. It's like, it will cure your hangover and then remake you sick.
Yeah.
You're done. But the other night, so the Celtics. We're back to the Celtics.
Yeah.
Back to the Celts.
The Celtics are going to commit attempted murder on every team this year, I think.
Did you see one of the guys from the Knicks afterwards and just making a joke at a press conference? He's like, "You got to get drug tested."
They probably should. They came out. Are you guys basketball fans?
Yeah. Periphery.
They came out the other night and actually tried to assault another team. They were so disrespected after winning the championship. Still,
somehow, right?
And then Jaylen Brown doesn't get brought up to the Olympic team with Nike, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They put on a clinic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was nervous for the Knicks. I was like, this team.
And the Knicks are supposed to be pretty good.
Knicks are supposed to be pretty. I mean, they're fans. I mean, trust me, when we were like I said, we weren't like actively watching the games, but at the same time, since it was New York, there was a lot of attention focused on it. And I checked the score and I was like, oh. Yeah. And then like second quarter, like, oh, it's not improving.
They're up by 30. Yeah. They're still up by 30.
Yeah.
What about the ring? What about the rings they got?
Oh, those rings were nuts. Have you ever seen like a championship ring up close?
Yeah. I mean, they're
they just get bigger. Yeah, they just get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
This one, I mean, the top comes off of it and everything. Yeah.
I think the Celtics coach is like, I could never wear this out. He's like, it's too heavy. I can't even put it in my hand.
No shot. Yeah. I mean, you also have to leave with security to make sure that ring doesn't get fleeced from you. I mean, a couple $100,000 a ring.
Yeah.
But they put on an absolute show. There was ambulances waiting out back for the Knicks to hop in.
Right back to New York.
Well, it's just, I mean, you just have to have so much faith in what Brad Stevens has done.
Guy's a legend.
I mean, just orchestrated and built this team like that. It's been a pleasure to watch. I mean, I used to obviously watch him at Butler as a head coach, and then to see him when he was a Celtics coach but could never kind of get. But man, what he's done from a GM standpoint has just been truly amazing. I mean, Danny Ainge was great prior, but but man, Stevens has been fantastic.
They call him the mad scientist. Yeah. At least that's what Timmy, our box office guy, calls him. He's a mad scientist. Like he just finds a way to get millions of extra dollars and then gets a sleeper of a player that comes down and scores 20 off the bench. You're like, yeah, okay, bud. Like, you're the sickest person ever. And then they win, and then they decide that they're going to give every single player a max contract.
Right.
Go over the salary cap and not have to pay millions and millions of dollars in taxes.
Yeah.
And they're gonna hurt some people this year.
Yes,
they might go undefeated. I'm just gonna say it. They might.
She undefeated.
Where's my hard camera? Where's my hard camera? They're going undefeated. Celtics go undefeated this year. On this podcast, lock it in.
Tomorrow they get blown up by 30.
They're gonna get destroyed. I might have just cursed them.
Exactly.
You just ruined it.
I want the curse. It's just right down there.
I apologize. I didn't say
bloke.
I didn't say they'd win the championship. I just said they'd go undefeated. That would be bad. Yeah, that would be.
You know what else is bad? Did you see the Chewbacca prank?
Have you guys ever pulled pranks on people? I'm sure back in the day at some point. You guys pulled pranks on each other, like
Back
at bars.
Oh, you mean now?
Yeah, you guys ever you guys prank each other?
No, Trevor's too sensitive, man.
Crack
jeez.
this open.
Oh, God.
Are we gonna do it?
I'm waiting for him to go first.
Oh, there you go.
Let's go.
Hurley, we just ruined everything.
Hurley, we ruined your desk. Let's go. We need some Lysol. We need some Lysol.
All right, let's talk about this Chewbacca prank.
Yeah, so there was a dude who recently just put his ex-girlfriend's phone number on a piece of paper that said, with little like pull tags. Have you seen those in New York where people are like, come watch me eat a rotisserie chicken in New York City, and then you like pull the thing and it has a number? Put his ex-girlfriend's number on one of those things that said, call me and make your best Chewbacca impression. And it had a Chewbacca thing. It was like for a fake.
I did see this.
Like a fake audition to be Chewbacca. So thousands and thousands and thousands of people have called this poor woman's phone repeatedly at all hours, leaving voicemails, leaving calls, and all of it is just Chewbacca noises. Like, could be the worst or best prank of all time. She's like, my phone.
Chewbacca noises.
Just Chewbacca noises. She was sitting. She's sitting. I'll see if I can pull it up here.
What a move to an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Wild.
She's scrolling through her phone with like this news reporter, and she's just like, oh, look at this one. And it's just a new Chewbacca noise. And oh, this one's 1 minute later. New Chewbacca noise.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it was so bad.
You ever play a good prank?
Yeah. I mean, well, good. I mean, we've. This sounds like shit. This is not. I've super glued the handles of my buddy's car, like it's in, like
that's a dick move, not a prank, buddy.
I mean, it was a prank. Well, he filled my car full of whipped cream, like every inch of just covered it. So I was like,
how bad did that smell?
Oh, that was bad. That was bad. The detail was like, this is gonna take a couple details, and I was just like, yeah, I bet it is. I should probably just burn my car down, like just throw this thing away. It's like nothing left. Throw it away. Have you guys ever pulled some pranks on people?
I didn't think about that.
I got one good one I did.
And what was it?
I think I told you the story.
See if I can find this Chewbacca video.
Oh yeah, you go find the Chewbacca video. All right, the prank I did is we went out with a couple friends, and we had one of the bartenders. We were leaving the club. It was like a day party. We were leaving the club. She was going to join us for we went to Chinatown, probably crushed a lot of forged. Some reason in my stupor, I told my friend to pretend that he was deaf. And so the girl that was meeting us, I was like, oh, my friends are coming, you've never met him before. And I texted her, I was like, but he's deaf, he's really hard of hearing, so you have to yell like really loud to him. And like, yeah. So she arrives. We're in Chinatown, we're probably chugging sake by then. And
normal Wednesday for you.
Yeah, this is Monday morning at 9. So she arrives, and of course, we're quiet. And I'm like, this is my friend. Just starts absolutely screaming to him like, "Hi, how are you?" And he just went along with it. He's like, It went on for so long that we were all crying. And then he just wanted to end it. So I'm like, you want a drink? And he's like, yeah, sure. And she just looks at me, wait, he's not deaf?
Yeah.
And just absolutely lost
Diabolical.
it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
That
great.
was probably- yeah.
I can't think of any. It's like I struggle with the creativity aspect of it. Like the Chewbacca thing. Like it's like
Yeah, I have
God,
it.
like-
I found
Yeah.
it. I found the Chewbacca thing. It's pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, put it in there.
And they're yet to stop. I won $500.
Well, I'm getting phone calls at really strange hours of the night, about 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock.
Forced to call back the wannabe Wookiees and tear down the posters.
Oh, the posters on my own.
Big joke now.
The 29-year-old is determined to have
Oh my
the
god,
last
it's
Oh
just
my
so
God.
funny.
Wait, who came out? Who came out and who took ownership? The boyfriend just took ownership of it?
Yeah, he must. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
Just me. I did it. Yeah. The boyfriend took ownership of it.
That's awesome.
Wow, look at
awesome.
this. Look at this. Look at this outfit.
Oh yeah, remember I told you?
Yeah.
The window gets
Wow.
wild. We're looking at two sparkly humans. I don't know what you call it. That's nuts. I need my
What's
sunglasses.
the
for
craciest
that.
thing you've seen through this window? Pre-game
Boobs.
or
Boobs.
post-game?
Boobs.
Pre-game,
Boobs. Boobs.
pre-game boobs.
Yeah, pregame boobs. We won't say her name, but we know her. She,
know her.
We know her. She pressed glass. What we call it. We pressed glass. We've seen a lot. There was one kid recently who was ripping kickflips on his skateboard. Oh, he's doing kickflips on a skateboard. Then he starts ripping a lung dart, and then he's doing more skateboarding tricks. And it was just so loud because the window, every time his
Right.
skateboard would crash, it would be like clanking. We'd be like looking out the window.
And then he took a break to just rip a butt. Yeah,
took a
it was
break
Is
to
he
rip
doing
a-
it while people are just walking?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was like Tony Hawk pro skating, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It was unreal. And then what happened was he ends up going down to the street, or what we believe is a street, out of frame, comes back this way, goes into the T station, and then all of a sudden, maybe, I don't know, 5-10 seconds later, you see police officers sprinting in.
Yeah.
And we're like, has to be the skateboard.
Yeah, it has to be.
Has to
Yeah,
be the skateboard.
no chances
guy.
of anything else.
Yeah, he tried to Tony Hawk like the T station in there.
Onto the tracks.
Yeah, he's just ripping a T.
Yeah.
We've seen some wild stuff. We've seen what the Amish family.
Yes,
That
we did
Amish
see-
family,
yeah.
a full-fledged Amish family walk.
15 of
walk-
them just.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All decked out. We're like, you can't get on the tee. It's against the rules.
You're enforcing their rules.
That guy sings the national anthem at the.
Oh yeah, that's
This guy?
the guy that's giving the hug in the
black
suit.
Yeah.
The black
Oh
suit.
yeah,
guy,
yeah, gotcha.
That's Todd.
Todd, yes. Sings the
Yeah,
national anthem.
his voice unbelievable.
I believe it.
He also, so funny story about him is he was serving beer at one of the concession stands, and the singer of the national anthem got sick, so they knew he was kind of the backup plan.
Yeah.
So the whole team, like the whole crew, like whatever their marketing team or whoever it was, goes up. It was like, Todd, you have to sing. Like, here's a sport code or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, we could probably bring him in here to tell the story.
Todd.
Todd, get in here. And they brought him down. He rips the national anthem. Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
Goes back up and serves beer.
Yeah.
And everybody was just like, wait, you're the national anthem guy. He's just over there just tapping beers. Like from the concession.
So now he's like the full time. I mean,
Full
yeah,
legend,
yeah,
yeah,
now
pure
he's,
legend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He Wally pipped the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He absolute. Renee Rancourt was the other fellow. And that
I'm
he
glad
was
you
a
thought it was
legend.
able to look
he,
it up.
He used to do like fist pumps. So in the playoffs, as the Bruins would win games,
Right.
he would give like one fist pump for one win, two fist pumps for two wins, and if he wanted a third win, he would give 3 during the national anthem. And then when they lose, they'd be like, "Okay, you can't do that anymore. You have to do 2 this time until we win a third." And that was like all superstition.
He was there for 100 years.
Yeah, he was nuts. He had a sweet mustache though.
Sick stash.
Sweet mustache.
Should we get to some
Yeah.
AMAs?
This-
All right.
yeah, Windows nuts, but we'll get to some AMAs.
All right. So
Hurley.
you don't have to ask. I mean, you don't have to answer. Some of these are
Oh,
wild, but
okay.
it's just first thought comes into your head.
I can claim the fifth.
Hurley, you want in on this?
Sure.
There he is. All right, so we do get some weird questions.
Yeah, we got a lot of weird
We
questions.
get some weird questions. Fuck, marry, kill. This is a food edition,
Oh, geez.
not humans.
Okay.
Caviar, Honey Nut Cheerios, key lime pie.
It's an easy one.
Mary and key lime pie.
Okay,
Caviar.
killing caviar.
Yeah, killing caviar.
And you're gonna fuck Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah.
Is there a specific reason why?
Every morning.
Yes,
it's what. Yeah.
I would absolutely kill Honey Nut Cheerios. Fuck caviar.
Yeah.
And what's the third one?
Key lime
Key lime
pie.
pie.
Mary.
Yeah, I'm going with you on that one.
Oh, same.
Yeah,
Hurley.
That's such a weird combination of food.
Well,
Hurley has a weird taste. Well, I shouldn't say weird taste in food. Hurley
All
is.
right, here we go.
he goes, here we go.
No, I just think Hurley's.
Hurley, chicken nuggets were not on this list.
I would go fuck key lime pie, Mary Cheerios, and kill caviar. I've actually never had caviar, so
So you're just gonna
I'm
okay.
gonna assume it's.
Huh.
We're going to Brico after these guys are paying. Let's go.
I don't have that kind of money.
We need the beluga.
We need the beluga.
We need the beluga.
Big Ten. Big Ten.
Let me get the Osetra, please. All right, next one. Would you rather be teleported 50 years into the future or 50 years into the past?
Trevor.
Again, these questions go all over the place.
I struggle with that one, but if I had to pick one to gun to my head, I'd say past.
Okay. Any reason why?
Simpler time. Feel maybe in some ways, maybe in not, but
You'd have to send me and Jeff like a carrier pigeon in order to come on a podcast if they had podcasts like you.
He's been shipping Ford.
I'll be curmudgeon.
It's really just a meeting for coffee. That's what it would be.
Yeah, good point.
I would do it in the past. So I actually turned 50 this year. So 1974 is when we're talking about, right? So because do I have the knowledge of everything that's going to happen? Like, because that sets me up to have an amazing 50 years of like,
creating Facebook.
Yeah. He invented Bitcoin on his first day on Earth.
He's born.
Exactly.
Born creates Bitcoin at one day.
This guy's got a full life ahead of him.
I don't know. A lot of times people don't give more reasoning of the question. They just ask the question.
Yeah. All right.
But I like your idea. Okay, if you had the knowledge, if you could go back, I guess, with 50 years worth of knowledge, it would
Is that
be.
the thing though? You get to go back with the knowledge.
I don't know.
Well, you said transported,
Transport,
right?
yeah.
So that means I've already have my life here. I'm just going in either direction. And 50
That's
years in the
different.
future, life may not exist. We might have like some sort of like crazy. So like
We get transported.
Elon's trying to put people on Mars, my friend.
yeah, like you get transported and there's no one left here at Earth because everyone's up in Mars. So like I don't know. I know what the 70s were like. We can go back and know that. So yeah, for me, it's going back.
The only thing that's tough about going back is that you would be teleported to be your same age. So you'd.
Teleport. Yeah, so I'm 50 at that point.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be a good final 15, 20.
We'd welcome you back at 100.
We welcome you back. What about you, Jeff?
Oh, I'm definitely going back. I'm so scared of the future.
I'm
Scared about tomorrow.
I'm going forward, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I'm sick in the head, and I'd want to go forward and see what 50 years forward looks like. Right? Maybe we're on Mars and I'm the only
Was
person
this
here
Bill
on
and
Earth.
Ted's Excellent Adventure?
I think so. Maybe I live in a geodome here because the rest of it's uninhabitable. Like I just want
Maybe
I
in
just
this
want
podcast room.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm coming back to this podcast room if there's nobody else on Earth. I'm just gonna shoot pods for myself. Go to Star Market,
Right.
Like find the non-perishables.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a Starbucks.
Yeah,
right
watch out for
there.
watch out for the milk section. It might not be good in 50 years.
But the
No milk.
non-perishable is probably Honey Nut Cheerios over there waiting for you.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Did I say I was gonna fuck them or kill? Well, I'm not gonna eat those. I can't. I've already crossed those out of my life.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff. You got any in here?
Hurley, what are you going, forward or
Yeah,
back?
I'd go back.
You're 13 years old. What would you go back for?
For the same reasons. I just think, I don't know. I don't know what the 70s were like, but it seems like a.
Well, let me tell you.
But also, I figure if you travel forward 50 years and you have the current knowledge, then you're going to be like way behind society as well. The
Whoa.
other-
Very analytical answer.
I wasn't thinking
Very-
about that
yeah.
part. That's why we have the smart guy on the podcast. You know, it's like, he talks some sense in all of us. He's like, you don't want to do that. It's like, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'll do whatever I want. You got any, Jeff?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, these are crazy. Who can chug a Forged Irish Stout faster between the three of you?
Well, it's 4 now,
That's
but
4 now. Yeah.
and you guys have already drank them, so we
Yeah,
can't go
can't
crushing
do that,
away.
yeah.
Can't
All
go
right.
crushing away. But can you guys crush beers? Are you like?
I'm not actually one of those guys that can absolutely. I mean, it's crazy. Someone like 2 seconds or not even a second and a half. Like, I mean, no, that's
Not me.
Unfortunately, it's not within my power scheme.
It's one of my superpowers.
Jeff crushes all.
Well, listen. If we were going to bet at the table, my money was going to be on you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Trevor, you chug?
I could mediocre at best.
Yeah, same here.
A funny thing about that though was when we first launched the brand in New York, one of our videographer content guys was wanted to shoot something with Conor's belt on the streets of New York and have somebody chug a beer, and so Trevor was the one that they chose to go out there. So literally, like
middle of the street with Conor's belt.
Yeah, it's middle of like a major street in New York.
Cars stopping.
Yeah,
people stopping.
You're creating a riot.
Yeah, like literally people. And he, by the way, he was out of his mind in the best way possible. So like
the videographer, yeah,
the videographer. So just me and him. I'm like, I'm going into. He's Irish. You can't understand what he's saying. Just rolling through, and he wanted to get the perfect shot. So I had to sit there and just chug. For some reason, he wanted to chug with the belt, stopping people in bike lanes, just trying to get a chug. And so
people get heated about stopping in bike lanes.
Video that everyone saw, and everyone's like, yo, you fucked it up. You got the little. I'm like, this is my fourth one.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, I can't put my mouth anymore.
First of all, people are screaming at me thinking I'm a fighter.
Yeah, that's the other thing, because he's got the belt, so people are like, congratulations, like cheering him for it.
Get out of my face. I'm gonna go back to the bar. I got tasked with this bullshit.
Yeah, like I need to go home.
Yeah.
I need to go home. I don't feel safe.
I was livid and happy at the same time. I was so pissed. I was like,
living and happy at the same time.
You watch the video back and you're like, well, that's kind of epic, and I hated every second of it.
Everyone's like, dude, you really messed up that chug.
It was like their fourth take though, so it's like, yeah,
screw you, man. It's like actors that have to eat the same meal on set for fucking 6 hours straight.
Yeah.
So they're like, how many pieces of unseasoned chicken can I eat for 8 hours?
Right.
And you're like, of course, one of these is not going to go well.
All right, we got one. Oh, these are wild today. In the Sinatra song, when he says New York, New York, is he saying the city and state or the city twice?
I think he's saying the city twice.
Or he could be saying the state twice, too.
He could. But is he?
There's three outcomes, I guess it could be, right?
He's not like Albany.
Poughkeepsie.
Yeah. I mean, we need to change some lyrics around for that song. I think he's saying the city twice.
I'll go with city twice.
Do you guys like New York City?
We do. I mean, we both commented though, and this is not, trying to placate our hosts here.
Boston homer.
We love Boston way more than we love New York. New York is stressful. It's chaotic. Like when we got here last night, and as soon as we got to the hotel, we're staying just like right here near TD Garden. It was just like we walked, did dinner last night. It was just relaxing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Boston's a great town. So many the awesome, cool neighborhood driven. There's a lot of uniqueness and cool stuff in New York, but at the same time, like I try to get in and try to get out.
Yeah,
I like New York for 36 hours.
No, I feel this. I mean, I've had periods in my life where I absolutely love and I'm obsessed with New York for different reasons. There's no place like it on earth.
Yeah,
agreed.
That's very true.
But for some reason, naturally, I don't know what it has been, but recently, like, because we go there a lot for work, but coming here since we launched more often and haven't been to Boston, my sister's up in Somerville.
Nice.
It's clean, safe, great food, great community, great just bars, everything about it, and it's just you can navigate it so easily. I'm from Philly, so there's some similarities in this, concentric nature. But yeah,
if you want to throw Philly on that list, then my order of 1, 2, 3 would be interesting.
I love Philly.
Wait, you got a good Philly story.
Next time you boys.
I love.
We'll bring
Philly.
Jason too. We'll fly him up.
Yep.
We'll get him up there, and we'll have some nights in Philly.
I love Philly. I am a roast pork fan over cheesesteak.
All right.
I get it. I understand it. I've done the touristy thing. I've been to Philly so many times.
I'm C, all of the above.
He's like, yes, I'll eat all things.
I would go with you. I'm like, it depends on the day. They're both fantastic sandwiches. Do you do broccoli rabe and long hots?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wait, what's a long hot?
And I gas it in 2 bites. This thing stands no fucking chance.
What's a long hot?
It's like the long hot pepper. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you go sharp provolone, long hots, broccoli rabe,
Dip.
extra au jus on the side.
Yeah.
You dip. You get it done in 2 seconds. You get another one.
Yeah.
Bring it home cold.
Unreal.
Eat it when it's just like moldy.
Breakfast doesn't matter. Yeah. I just put it in the fridge and let that thing marinate for a month and a half, and I'm like, it's aged. I got an aged sandwich now. It's aged.
I was in Philly last year, and I kept this thing.
Yeah, I kept it. This is a memento. I love Philly. This is not on the AMAs, but outside of those 3 places, what are your favorite? Like, what's your favorite place to go? Like, what is your Not necessarily for work, but like on the planet. Like, where's your
On the planet?
Yeah, like where's your happy place? Where's your
You went from cities to the planet.
Where's your happy place? Like, where do you go to decompress?
The United States and British Virgin Islands is where I go to decompress. Growing up in Atlanta, my father was a pilot for Delta, so I had the ability to fly a lot of places as a kid. And going from Atlanta to down to St. Thomas is only like a 3.5 hour flight. So that's where we would go a lot. And so it's a place I try to go every year. It's just beautiful, and you get down there and like not really care in the world. Drink a lot of rum for that week, and then never drink it again. So it's
Hell yeah.
I was talking about that with somebody the other day. Like, would you have a drink? I'm like, well, if I'm at in Jamaica, I'm drinking rum. But that's it. I'm you bring a nice bottle back, but there's no way I'm having a rum and coke.
Right.
No.
Shout out to Timmy G.
But I love. I mean. Getting back to the United States, like I loved, growing up in the South, I really love towns like Charleston, Nashville, Asheville, New Orleans, a lot of, kind of those medium-sized towns that have a lot of culture, a lot of great music scenes, great food scenes and stuff like that. So those are kind of the places I like to, if I'm able to go someplace for a weekend, it's one of those kind of towns.
Nice. How do you decompress? Where do you go? What's your vibe?
So my wife's family has been going to the Adirondacks, New York, like up King Valley, about 7 hours from where I am, but about 5 hours from New York City.
Yeah.
I haven't found a place where I can decompress better. I mean, because the days are, we didn't have cable up there forever. We didn't have. Now we do, but
you teleported back.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's what. Like you just go up, you drink whiskey, you hike, you chill with.
It's still 1974.
Chill with your kids.
Yeah, literally.
It's the best, and it's just low key in the day. You could be up there for 3 days, but it feels like a week.
Yeah,
and I don't know a better way to think about it than that.
Places like that are incredible. I just go upstairs to play and drink.
Yeah.
Well,
Decompress. I do that.
We don't know how. We're not allowed. The last one, and you guys can answer this one too, but. This one says, if you could have any 3 guests on the Dose Blokes show, dead or alive, who would they be? And we're gonna. I think we can all answer if you guys had a
dead
podcast
or alive,
or whatever.
Okay,
yeah. If you were interviewing on this podcast 3 other people, dead or alive, who would they be? You want to go?
Oh yeah. Well, Johnny Cash is the first name that jumped in my head because you said dead or alive. I would love.
He was dead when he was alive too. I love him though. I love him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would love to be able to ask him some specific music questions.
Yeah.
I think that would be super cool. I think we should no doubt have Conor McGregor on the podcast.
Yeah,
I mean, he doesn't do many podcasts. I think he's done one because it's hard to get him to sit still for any sort of length of time.
We can move around. Get him on there. Let's go.
You'd have to have a remote mic because he would be up and moving around.
We'll just walk the city.
Yeah, there you go.
With the belt and drinking and Trevor chugging Fords.
Gassing Fords, baby. Let's go.
The greatest podcast ever. Trevor's hammered in the bike lane. Connor's sprinting down the street. I'm gassed from walking 5 feet.
I think that's a winning formula, to be honest.
So Johnny Cash,
hammering in the corner.
Johnny Cash, Conor McGregor.
I got to think of a third. Trevor, hop in and say a couple so I can think while you're
I'll
talking.
be agreeable with Connor. I mean, it's obvious. One came to mind with Allen Iverson. I think he'd be
Ooh,
sick.
I like that one.
That'd be wild.
Like,
Connor and Iverson on the same pod.
Dude,
Talking about practice.
Those two together, I feel like would be
Practice.
crazy. I'll have to think of a third. You guys go, and I'll think of my third.
I'm going Connor and Elon. Elon, I'm just obsessed with Elon.
Yeah.
Absolutely obsessed. And my third would probably be Tom Brady.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Connor, Elon, and Tom Brady. I'm going all alive.
Tom would like study.
I think Elon's alive, right? He's not like a bot. He's not like a.
We don't know.
Nobody knows.
We don't know if he actually has blood and bleeds,
Nobody-
bleeds red.
Hurley, who you going with?
Um,
Whoa, who's that fella?
Robin Williams,
No,
Okay.
Good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be
Bob Marley.
that was mine.
Robin Williams and Bob Marley. That would be a wild pod.
Both in the same show.
And then who's your last one?
Smoking joints, ripping coke
Abraham
lines.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln. Honest Abe.
Yeah.
Wow. Would you play one-on-one basketball with him?
What would you do with Abe Lincoln? You were like, hey, yo, Abe, this is weed. You need to try this. And this is other stuff that...
You can ask him if he'd rather marry, fuck, kill,
Honey Nut Cheerios.
buy Honey Nut Cheerios or caviar.
And then just teleport him back.
Yeah, we only needed you for a few minutes. We really needed you.
Imagine Abe just walks in, signs a few things in Card Vault, and then takes off.
Holy shit. Oh, this fucked me up so bad. Oh my god.
What if you just like this window is crazy, and all of a sudden Abe Lincoln walks past the window?
He really is tall.
Oh my god. Holy shit. We haven't even finished this segment yet. My eyeballs are broken. Oh my
Abe
god.
Lincoln was a curveball. That was
Abe Lincoln. What are we doing on this podcast?
Abe
Wait,
Lincoln.
we still have one left for you.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Ooh, that's a good
So
one.
what was your
Yeah.
list?
Good one.
Connor, Johnny Cash, Bill Murray.
Wow, that's
good.
wild.
Yeah.
Would that happen on a golf course?
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think Bill would be,
driving the golf cart?
yeah, I think Bill would be the only one comfortable there. Yeah, I don't know where that would take place, but geez.
That would be a nuts podcast.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. He just walk in as a Ghostbuster.
I mean, he's just such an enigma. I mean, the guy's. I mean, he's definitely out of all the people I've ever met, like he's the one person that's still on my list that I haven't. That like I really want to meet Bill Murray
Wow, that's awesome.
for sure.
I love that. Bill Murray is.
How could you not?
You think Bill Murray smokes just like a
What
ton
about Bob?
of weed?
Yeah.
I assume so.
Yeah. You haven't gone yet. You said Bob Marley.
George Washington.
Thomas Jefferson.
This guy run. Go ahead. You got two left. You got nothing?
No, I got
My last would be I'll help you out. I'll help you out.
Yeah.
Tarantino. I think Tarantino would be an awesome. Interesting. I love Tarantino interviews because he just is so passionate.
Yeah.
He just goes so deep. So
I don't know, maybe my crush, Gwen Stefani.
Whoa.
ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Gwen.
Yeah.
Ain't
but no
how
Blake.
the back
But no
go.
Blake Shelton.
No, but yeah, Blake, sorry.
He's not allowed.
Blake's out.
Blake's out.
Blake's out.
Yeah, Blake's out. Yeah,
Uh,
Marley. Yeah,
Marley.
Yeah,
Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, I mean, we're just singing and rocking out. Yeah.
And who's the third one?
Put Slash in there.
Whoa.
Yeah, now we got a band going. I'm playing tambourine.
Okay. Cowbell. Big cowbell.
Big
guy.
cowbell guy. Yeah.
Actually, we do have one more, and it's this one, right?
Yeah. That was. Yeah.
If you can invent a holiday, what would it be called, and how would it be celebrated?
That's actually easy for me. The Super Bowl.
Wow! Holy smokes!
This is easy because this is real. Super Bowl Monday after Super Bowl should be a national
yeah.
holiday for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I mean, work productivity must be shit that day anyway.
That's fair.
got. So I mean, it's become our national pastime. I know baseball, but like the Super Bowl, it's the one event that everyone glues to every year. The next day, no,
Absolutely
no,
toast.
yeah, national holiday on Monday after Super Bowl.
And what would you call it? Like Hangover Monday?
Sponsored by Forged Irish Stout.
Yes.
Hell
yes.
yeah! Hell yeah!
I love that.
I don't know if we can get any better on that. I think
I
that's
have
where
no
we
fucking-
end.
I-
I think that's where we end.
we just
Yeah,
ended
that's
on
it.
that.
Yeah, well, this is Republicans and Democrats coming together for Forged Irish Stout.
Wow,
baby.
We're ending on that one.
We're ending on that one. Until next time, everybody, like, comment, subscribe, do the thing. Thank you to the Forge guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Peace.
I gotta clean this shit up now.